homeless broken man who opened the creamy art shop. In my relentless pursuit to succeed, someone recently asked me what the biggest challenge was that I was facing. I have to admit, it was the first time anybody had ever asked me that question, much less someone in the lending or finance institutions. They only ask how much you earn and how much you have. Important questions, no doubt. However, as Cubans say, it's like putting the cart before the donkey, poning la carreta delante del burro. It was refreshing to hear someone asking a personal and humanity and concern in a business situation at the front, at the beginning, which I thank them for. To answer that question, however, I had to let them know exactly how I got here. In my brutally honest way, I told them that I spent almost 10 months doing everything humanly possible to save my growing home improvement company in Miami. Business that I had opened about 5 years earlier, had doubled sales each year, acquiring a U.S. trademark, and looking to grow regionally by creating the Impact Cafe. See it at impactcafe.us. Website's still up. I started the business after losing a great job, working with people that I love, doing the same thing for a big box retailer. Unfortunately, for me, once again, I discovered that even in the greatest places, in the greatest companies, envy and bad people exist. And institutional systemic processes are in control. That's a whole other story. After 10 months of zero assistance, zero support, no EIDL, no PPP, no unemployment, nothing, I felt I was just not part of the we're in this together promise. I reached out to a local Miami politician with an expressive, emotional letter, only asking for help to save my business. Instead, she sent heavily armed police to my shop to strike fear and intimidate, to simply not help. Regardless, karma, the politician lost. Sadly, something had to give, and it was my health. 2020 ended in a severe hypertensive stroke, 2 of them, that nearly ended me. When I got to Baptist Hospital, it was the first one. My BP was something like 220 over 210. Somehow I walked away from that. A few days after getting out of the hospital, I had to vacate my warehouse in Miami, where I had built my home improvement business, my art gallery, my work studio, and upstairs I had built a full custom apartment that I lived in. I was now homeless. The only person to offer me any help was an old friend. He drove down, commando missioned me up to Ocala to an abandoned RV he had on our property. Anyone who knows Florida knows what happens to abandoned things. Nature took over. I had a second stroke. Only the second day in Ocala. I survived that. Somehow I continued to clean the RV, clean the property, and a few weeks after change in administration, I submitted the exact same paperwork that had been denied, revoked, and ignored 6 times within 3 days with approved for a PPP loan. Wasn't a lot, but it was enough to restore hope. The only thing I knew for sure at this point was that God was not done with me. Relentlessly, I worked on the R&B, on pure blood, sweat, and tears. And a lot of tears. I continued to work on my health and move creatively forward. Started painting horses while I look out. How beautiful it is. Now I'll put everything into opening this beautiful new shop you see before you. Take you on a full tour. And I hope to rise in health and strength to grow this into a community-based institution, growing this amazing concept of arts and ice cream, delights, along with healthy treat options that grow into a community destination for many years to come. However, it's become very clear to me that I'm gonna have to shut down in a few days. Every obstacle has taken its toll on me. But that's not the problem. Ironically, the shop is coming off. It's off of its best weekend. Sorry, I get distracted from people walking by. However, it's not enough to make an immediate difference. Worst of all the obstacles was an unconscionable experience at the hands of PayPal, who took it upon themselves to tie up $5,000 deposited into my business account for no reason other than racial profiling. The fact that I have a long Latino name, my minority partner has a long Middle Eastern name, that alone they saw as risk. They threatened to hold the money for up to 180 days, 6 months, in a scam that they do over and over, I'm sure, to millions of people. Simply to hold that money and earn interest on it that they later do not pay out. It's deplorable. What risk? It's not their money to assess risk on. It was not a loan. It's my money. But since I jumped on them and attacked them immediately for what they were and called them out for what they were doing, they had to release the money immediately. Immediately to them was 4 weeks. But those 4 weeks were lethal to this business. Those 4 weeks, everything went up 12 to 25%, which meant that by the time everything was said and done and I did all the upgrades that I had to do, simply to be able to open my doors, the health department requirements cost 3 times what I expected, and is the main reason why this business and this opportunity will not succeed, because of the racial profiling, the systemic, institutional, seemingly small decisions that destroy lives and ruin opportunities for Black, Latino, and minorities every day. It's business as usual to them. Do not use PayPal. The damage was done. And the main reason I won't have to close this beautiful shop. Their act of racial profiling cost over a month of expenses, plus everything went up. Something I'm just not going to be able to overcome. A hole that they created for me that I'm not going to be able to overcome. I can no longer do many things. Stand, walk. They also discovered I have onset Parkinson's. A 75% blocked carotid artery. I live with constant pain. No strength in my left arm. My left side is in constant pain that I try to ignore. Can never do home improvement again. And I doubt anyone would ever hire me. So, I will be homeless again. Very soon. However, I can still think in spurts. I can paint. And I can create art when I'm able. But mostly, I wish to inspire hope. And continue to hope all I can. While in Ocala, homeless, in the bus, I donated over 20 originals to the Boys and Girls Club after hearing on TV that they had been robbed. The Creamy Art Shop combines two things I love, ice cream and art. CreamyArts.com is the website. Staying open is an entirely different challenge that I just will not be able to overcome. Simply because of the systemic banking and funding that funding organizations and the people making decisions have to go by the systemic ingrained practices that are designed to keep people like me in poverty. No matter what anyone says, traditional banking, lenders, and the lending industries come out of a racist seed that has long entrenched traditions that designed to keep success from people like me. Makes those traditions make attaining success virtually impossible unless you are perfect. And how many of us really are? I will never have any funding, or I will never get access to funding through traditional means. This won't happen. America's biggest challenge is overcoming generations of racially motivated and entrenched no's towards minority businesses, regardless of how hard we work or how remarkable some of the things we accomplish are. Unless you are a perfect individual, the traditional systemic machine is not designed for people like me to succeed. Period. Never was. Please pardon my brutal honesty and my take. And if not scared, please share my story of relentless resolve, of someone just being too stubborn to give up on dreams of doing good, creating magical places, a magical world of art and entertainment, despite being a broken old man. I sleep on the floor in the back of the shop for at least a few more weeks. I have so many more details in the story, and believe it or not, I'm not an angry person. I am blessed. I just understand. My happiness comes from the people I connect with, those I share my art with, experiences for creation that we share. In reality, all I really want is to paint or hang out with my grandkids. But some of us just never get to see our dreams. Please share freely. If you know any information on organizations or programs that help minorities and startup businesses or just help individuals devastated by life to overcome. Individuals broken by life, coping with or without infection. Organizations that will still help us succeed, or can help fill the gaps I'm going to face moving forward because of my age, health. that I'm going to face moving forward. I've proved that with God anything is possible. Ironically, the space for the church before I leave. I have about 2 weeks left. I completely understand how busy you guys are and how utterly insignificant I am. If you ignore my message, don't watch, don't read, don't care, don't reply, it's okay. Sadly, I've gotten used to being minimized. It's nothing. This is my life, though. If someone has a real world opportunity to make a direct impact in someone's life, that will definitely, through the nature of his business, impact entire communities in a positive way. And they can help this magical franchise come to fruition. Thank you for hearing this and for listening to me. God bless you for doing so. You have an open invitation to come to the Creamy Art Shop, at least while it's open, and enjoy a free treat on me, at least while I'm open. At this point, I've proven to anyone and everyone that America is still the land of opportunity. And if you work hard, put everything into opening your dream, it is possible. I am proof. This place is proof. However, I am also proof, beyond any reasonable doubt, that there is zero support for people like me. Simply because I will always have the credit, history, and background of a poor, black, Latino who is now old and sick. The first thing they always see is your income, is the fact that you are. The most common excuse I hear is we're just not the right fit for your business. That's code for you're poor, black, and Latino, we ain't helping you. I have reached out to pretty much everyone I can think of, and then some, including local and national media outlets, in hopes to try to gather community support. But despite overcoming 2 strokes, losing everything I had worked for, due to the pandemic, the shutdowns, the abandonment, being left out of the we're in this together promise, ending up homeless, I continued forward, continued to fight, to build this beautiful, amazing new beginning. A beautiful shop, an art gallery dedicated to promoting artists and showcasing local artists, providing opportunity within the communities that these stores would open as a nationwide franchise. However, no one cares. No one will help me. Most will try to not even listen or not read. There is zero support out there for people like me. I don't know what else to do. I've just turned 62. I'm in constant pain. Maybe it's time to finally give up and just go paint somewhere. It's God's plan, regardless. My story just proves and highlights the fact that show just how there are still huge issues in equality and access to build our dreams. At my age and health, I know the odds are nearly impossible. But it does not mean I'll stop fighting to help, to open eyes, if anything, simply because I'm too stupid stubborn and old to give up. If anything, so tomorrow's Black, Latino, minority, creative entrepreneurs who deserve better actually get better. Ironically, this business came to exist simply because of how difficult even renting a place to live in has become in today's world. You are giving your money to someone else to create wealth for them, and they are giving you issues, giving you a hard time. Inherently asking for money and getting money given to me by traditional lenders just will never happen. It means it's over. It reminds me of my favorite Thomas Edison quote that said, "Vision without execution is hallucination." Truth is, I need help with the execution to get this great vision of a nationwide chain of shops, an animated cartoon series set in a magical place called Creamyville. These great characters, where the mayor guides guests to discover creamy delights and make new friends like Yankee Turtle Dandy, Miss Boss Bee Banana, and of course, Fudgy Bastard Fudgy. And all a place where interesting flavors, creations, and amazing works of art come together. Some say only in the magical domain of creamyarts.com. I hope it does not end up just another of my hallucinations. It's fun to dream, but it's a lot more fun to succeed, and they know it. Not all of us can be as perfect as we'd like. Life doesn't work that way if you're a minority. We don't inherit wealth. And sadly, way too many never even get a chance to. I hope you share my story freely. Hopefully it inspires in someone that needs it. Hope. Despite losing everything, ending up homeless, surviving 2 severe strokes at the age of 62, not yet giving up might actually be an insane hallucination. What do you think? At the very least, I can say I prove to anyone who doubts that America is still the land of opportunity, and if you put everything into doing something, you can get it done. I am proof. However, small dreams and big dreams are very different beasts. And getting there and maximizing a big vision to its full potential for Black, Latino, and minority visionaries and dreamer entrepreneurs, seeing that vision become